hey, we come from this really sad, dark place of unloving ourselves, to the sun rising, warming our face, and us going, oh my God, how long has it been since I've felt this kind of love? And the love is for ourselves. So we have to start with ourselves. Okay, so loving yourself. It is nobody's responsibility to love you. Loving you is not the responsibility of your mom, your dad, husband, wife, daughter, son, uncle, aunt, dog, cat, co-worker, boss, or friend. I mean, did I make that clear? Did I cover everything? You know, it is nobody's responsibility to love you. And if you can ever get out of that phase thinking that I'm lovable and everybody should love me in any fashion or form, if you can get out of that and just say, nobody has to love me, I have to learn how to love me, then your whole life will change. Your whole life will change. It just will, because you'll stop distorting what love is by wanting somebody else to do it for you. So, let me say it again. It is absolutely no one's responsibility to love you. It is 100% your responsibility to love yourself. Giving away your power to happiness to anyone else will create a disaster. Nobody knows what makes you happy better than you. Why would you entrust someone else with your life's happiness? It is no one's responsibility to make you happy, even someone that loves you. So that's a big statement, since in our society we get married because, one, we are in love, two, we want somebody to love us. It's supposed to be all about love. But I think it has more to do with manipulation and fulfilling our own personal needs. You know, I don't know how much real love is involved. You know, I think a lot of it is distorted belief around what love is and partnership is, and, you know, our role playing, our mask about husband and wife and how we should behave. I don't think that there's real love involved in there, because it gets really distorted when you start wanting something from another person, because the love will fall away. Because then now your ego has slipped right in there and said, okay, well, you love me, so I need you to act like this. I need you to give me that. So it's not love anymore. It just becomes a way of manipulating somebody else to give you what you think you need. And if we could ever learn anything in this society, is having a loving partnership would be just miraculous. We have a lot that looks like it could be built around love, but there's always still manipulation going on. And the manipulation has to do with fulfilling other people's needs, but it also has to do with us being in so much fear of being vulnerable with someone else, because we're terrified of our own vulnerability, because we really haven't learned to love ourselves yet. So, we are all too willing to hand our personal power over to someone else, making them responsible for us. It is no wonder that so many people are unhappy and blaming others for their misery. Isn't that a great setup? It's like marry someone and say, okay, now we're going to live happily ever after if you do everything I want you to do. You know, here, I put my happiness in your hands, and you just treat me like a queen, and you just make me happy, and don't ever do anything that's going to make me mad. And, you know, it's just like, where are you from? It's like, that's not how it is. And I know it may sound like a distorted way of looking at it, but, you know, the bottom line, a lot of relationships look like that. And it would be like having this, I don't know, paper-thin eggshell that's your heart. You know, and giving it to a baseball player in the middle of a game. Now don't crush it, don't break it, you're responsible for it. You know, it's like, wow, why would you ever give that responsibility to somebody else? It's just because we don't want to be responsible, and we think it should take somebody else to do it. So if we could all become independent agents of our own heart, and our own responsibility on loving ourselves and taking care of ourselves and being number one in our lives, I think we'd see a lot of change in the world and in our own personal relationships. So that's a big deal. And in the next page I state that when need enters your relationship, it will destroy the love you share and replace it with a distorted obsession, forcing the love you have to grossly disfigure. Stephanie's beautiful words. Because it does disfigure it. Because you, remember, the ego's so sly, it's like, okay, I get somebody to love me, and then it's going to slip in there, and it's just going to figure out how you can manipulate them to get your needs filled. And that's not love. It just isn't. It's just very distorted.